Right, so I just read in a news article that the EU wants every citizen to register every poultry animal that they own. Whether you have one or you have 101, they want them all registered on a national database. And they're very clear why. They want it for surveillance. They want to be able to survey your animals. They want to be able to track the avian flu because of how devastating it's been. They want to be able to track if some sickness possibly comes from poultry and then gets to where it can be into humans, right, and causes a worldwide pandemic. And they also want to be able to give you local recommendations. I believe this is going to affect us here in the United States, and I want to discuss that in today's video. My name is Justin. This is Built on Faith Homestead or Leaving Egypt, depending on which video platform you prefer. You're not going to miss this one today.
I once was lost, oh, but now I am found. Was blind, but now I see.
So where is the directive actually coming from? Is this something the EU has just come up with and they've decided it's good for them? No, this is actually coming from the UN. And now you may have got in the description box down below, clicked on the link, read the article and said it doesn't say nothing about the UN, and you would be correct. However, if you will actually go and look, if you'll spend the time to go and look up the UN and then jump over to the WHO, the World Health Organization, and then read their Pandemic Accord rough drafts and read how they are trying to finalize this to get all the countries all around the world to sign up to it, which, by the way, they say it's not legally binding. However, they demand complete and total compliance from everybody. It's the only way that it's going to work. And they are using something called the One Health approach. And you say, Justin, what is that? Well, I'm glad you asked. I'm going to tell you. One Health approach is how the UN is going to get complete control of everything underneath this pandemic accord, because they want to factor in everything. And what I mean by that is they don't want to just think about the health of people. They want to think about the health of people in relation to the health of animals, in relation to the health of the environment, in relation to the health of the climate. So if they decide that you have too many chickens and those chickens are pooping too much and they're putting too much methane in the air, well, underneath this pandemic accord, they can come and seize your chickens because those chickens are a health hazard, not just to you, but to the planet. Do you understand how that works now? If you have too many cows underneath the One Health approach, it has nothing to do with sicknesses. It has nothing to do with cattle-borne illnesses getting to human. But if you have too many of them and they fart too much and they cause global warming, well, then it's bad for the entire planet. And underneath the Pandemic Accord, well, we must lower the amount of cattle that you have. That's what's going on with these chickens. The language is exactly the same. And see, if you'll spend some time studying this stuff out, here's the thing that's quite amazing, truthfully. If you spend some time reading the documents from the UN, if you just spend a little bit of time in them, if you just spend a little bit of time reading the documents from the WHO, you say, Justin, I don't have time. Here's an idea. Turn off your TV, turn off the YouTube, and actually go to their websites and read them. The language that they use is very specific, and it's always in a certain way. And then you'll be reading news articles, and what'll happen is it's like they copy and paste it like a college student that waited too long to write his paper. And you're reading it and you're like, I have heard this exact verbiage. I mean, word for word, I've heard this before. Where did I hear that? Oh yeah, this is all coming from the UN. The EU didn't make this up. This is why it's going to affect us here in the United States, because it's coming from the UN, the worldwide governance system of the world. Now, if you stuck around through that rant, let me explain to you why I believe this is also going to happen. Not just in the EU, but in the United States. Because the Bible teaches us that there will be a worldwide governmental system that will not allow you to buy or sell unless you accept their mark. My question to you is, how does that get done with the level of freedom we have right now in the United States? You understand that right now I can take my chickens and I could take it to the neighbor's house and I could trade a chicken or I could trade eggs, and there'd be no cash flow whatsoever. But you understand, if they get everything on a digital currency and they get everything where there's no cash and they get everything registered, and you have to be able to say where everything went from that animal and everything you did with that animal, and they're tracking, tracing every bit of your finance, and then they have to use every ounce of that for this One Health approach, and it all has to be tracked and traced, well, then they can stop you from being free. Do you understand that? They can come to your house and they can knock on your door. They can take it all away from you. The social credit system that China's doing. Do you see how all of this is starting to work together? And do you understand that what the secular world seems to be doing is lining up exactly with what the scripture teaches would happen? So, you ask, Justin, do you really think they're going to try to make us register every chicken in the United States? One of these days. One of these days. It's happening across the pond now. It'll be here soon enough. My name is Justin. This is Built on Faith Homestead. If you're still around, I want to thank you for watching the entirety of the video. That does a lot to help my videos. As you can imagine, YouTube doesn't necessarily push my videos out there. So the longer you watch them, the more you comment, the more it helps us out. Greatly appreciated. We'll catch you guys on the next video.